But I have been feeling like it recently. So here I am because I was just watching a video before I started doing this, and I'll probably listen to more of it once I'm done with this. But it was talking about the whole concept of not being with a man who isn't willing to chase you and why that's the case. And like one of the things he was saying was, you should be in this state where you're like, hey, I'm this beautiful, gorgeous girl. All these guys want me, and I'm choosing the best man I'm seeing who can step up to the plate. And it just made me think about how I've felt when it's come to men and their, well, so-called interest in me, whatever. And I just wanted to talk about, like, I think it really is so different when you truly are, okay. I think it's ironic, right? Because the girl who is genuinely desired, right? The girl who she really does have all of these guys chasing after her, all of these guys wanting her. I feel like she isn't the girl who ends up chasing a guy and chasing him away and whatever, because she is in the state where she feels like all these guys want me, so all I have to do is choose the best one. Because she literally does have a bunch of options. And that's how she feels. But when you're not that girl, when you're not the one who all the guys want, who all the guys like, all the guys are fighting over, so you don't have all these options, it's like, no, it's not really this thing of, oh, I have all these options and I'm choosing the best. I mean, of course you can still, it's not like just because, say, there's a guy pursuing you that you have to choose him because he's the only one. But when you get into like the whole psychology of it and the whole thing with a lot of times guys wanting to feel like they won, like they were the best and they beat all these other guys and they really got a prize because all these other guys want her, but he got her. And it's like, I feel like when the girl isn't in that area, the guy doesn't even really want her. And I do feel like part of it is the whole thing of guys not even really wanting a woman for who she is, but more so just what she represents. And therefore, again, it really just be literally just winning a prize as opposed to liking her as a person and getting her and getting to be with her. But still, I just feel like if you're not that girl, if you're not in that position, I feel like it truly is just hard to be in that space of confidence in that area, at least, because it's like, what are you really like confident in? Because if you're not the girl who gets a bunch of guys, then how can you feel like, oh yeah, I know, like there's a bunch of guys who want me and da da da, because no, they don't. Like, you've never been that girl. See, I think it's so crazy because I watch a lot of YouTube, and I think it's so crazy when I'll watch these things where these people do these loyalty tests, and then you have people who literally will sign up to be the, I forget what they actually call themselves, but all I can think of is calling them the decoy right now. I don't think that's actually what they're called, but I can't think of it. But they're the person who is supposed to test the person's loyalty, right? And, I could never sign up to be that person. I feel like you have to have so much confidence. Like, you have to have been hit on, gassed up, whatever, so much to be like, yeah, I bet this guy is going to want me. Like, I can't imagine going into a situation and genuinely feeling like, yeah, I could get this guy if I wanted to. I can't. Like, guys guys are so uninterested in me that I literally go into situations assuming that men are not interested in me. And if a man were to express interest in me, I wouldn't even be able to take him seriously, because I know that most likely he's only doing it because he's desperate. He just wants convenience. I don't know, like, it's something like that. Like, he doesn't really want me. He's not really genuinely interested in me. This is just something to do. And I'm just using that really broadly to cover, like I said, desperate, convenience, whatever. Because I've gotten to the point, I've said before, right, that I don't go off of the things that people say anymore. I go off the way that people act. And guys telling me that I'm gorgeous or that I'm beautiful or that I'm pretty, even girls telling me that, I really am at a point in my life where even if I believe I'm those things, I really truly don't think other people believe that. Like, and I'm not trying to be self-deprecating. I'm trying to be like realistic and just really honest, like truly honest. Just because I feel a certain way about myself, it doesn't mean that other people do. There is a much higher chance of someone telling a lie than telling the truth. Especially when it comes to a man, a lot of times they just want to be able to, get sexual and really not have to put that much effort in. And a lot of times, if you just tell a girl she's pretty, she'll get gassed up and whatever else, I feel like. So, I've really just gotten to a point where a guy could tell me that, a guy could treat me a certain way. And to be honest, if a guy that I found attractive were to tell me I was attractive, even if I didn't believe him, I probably would feel like a certain amount of like giddiness or whatever. I'll admit it, because it's not something that I hear, right? So there is a certain part of me that's going to feel a certain type of way. But at the end of the day, in my heart of hearts, like, I know that that's not real. I know it's not the reality, right? Because despite what people have told me, I've said it before and I'll keep saying it. My real life and my experiences have shown and taught me the truth, which is I am not on guys' radars. Like, I've never in my life been on their radars. They have never pursued me. Even if it seemed like they did, it was just that it seemed like it. It did not last long at all. It never lasted. Even in the pretend state, it didn't last more than a week. Like, I have just never been desirable to them. And I know people try to come up with reasons like, oh, well, they just sense that, you're this type of person. And they, oh, well, it's just like there's always some thing or some reason or some whatever for, it's not that you're unattractive. It's not that you're ugly. It's not that they don't think you're beautiful. It's insert something here. And it's like, I know people are trying to be nice. Okay, I get that. I know. I truly do appreciate people trying to be nice, but the pity is just, listen, I don't really need or want the pity, right? Like, as much as I hate it, and as much as it sucks, I have to admit and acknowledge and accept I am not what guys want. I'm not on their radar. I'm not what they find attractive. I'm just not, right? And you know, I've talked a lot on here about just learning about men and how they operate and them using you, whatever else. And I said that I didn't want one. But, you know, I feel like as I've stated before, I've talked about options and feeling like you have them, whether you decide to exercise that option or not, right? But just knowing at least that you have it is something. And it really just sucks knowing that it's like not even an option. Like I couldn't even explore it. It's not, I'm not in a position where I'm like, okay, you know, I don't, you know, I'm going to give up on men, or I don't want men or whatever. I know that if I wanted one, if I wanted to entertain one, whatever, I could get one, but I don't want that life. Like, no, like I've said, I feel like whether I want a man or don't want a man, it's irrelevant. I'm in the same position. I'm not going to get one. Like, I mean, sure, I could literally get one in the sense of, I mean, if I, you know, either I get one that I'm not attracted to, or I get one that I am attracted to, but then I just let myself get used, let myself get played, you know, and I get that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just legitimately having a man who I'm attracted to, he's attracted to me, I like him, he likes me, and it's just that. Like, it's just that in its purest form. I'm not going to be able to get that because men are visual and I'm not what they want. I've lost, you know, since like August of 2022, I've lost like around 40 pounds. Right? Maybe a little bit more. And so I do look different. I personally think I look better. But even though I do think that I look better and everything, even though I had, you know, a few months ago, which is ironic because a few months ago I wasn't even as slim as I am now. But, you know, I was feeling like I was the most beautiful girl in the world. Like I felt so pretty. I felt so gorgeous. I felt like her, right? I've talked about that and how I felt so good and everything, but like now that's just not the case. I don't feel like that at all. And I think it's because I don't know, like comparison is the thief of joy, right? And I look at more girls and I'm like, no, actually, yeah, like she is definitely prettier than me. Like she's prettier than me, she's prettier than me, she's more beautiful than me, and you know, at the end of the day, even though I know people say, like, don't compare yourself because whatever, at the end of the day, like, everything, the way that this society is set up, everything is a competition. And it really is like, why should I pick you instead of this other person? And I know it's not necessarily as simple because the other person gotta want you back, But, I mean, if we're talking just visual, like guys being visual, then no, I don't think that they're going to pick me. Not when there are so many other pretty girls. And I'm not saying, like, I think if we went beyond physical, yes, there are a lot of things that I could offer. But even if we do go beyond the physical, right? The thing is, even though I do feel like I have a lot to offer, I know that confidence is something that's considered very attractive. Now, I don't have the confidence either as far as like my looks. Like, I don't have the confidence feeling like he's going to pick me and be satisfied with me because, again, so much of the physical. And like, also, like I said, I'm not the girl that guys are fighting over. I'm not her. So my confidence in that area, in the area of feeling desired, feeling wanted by men, I don't have it. So if I'm supposed to be confident there, it's just not going to happen. I'm not going to have it. And he's probably going to be unattracted to my lack of confidence. So it's like he might be unattracted by me physically, and even if it's not that, like mentally, my lack of confidence, which will come from guys not being attracted to me, like it's all a cycle. And I don't know how I'm supposed to feel more confident in my looks and guys wanting me if guys don't want me. Now, I guess I can like tell myself like, no, I'm that girl, guys should want me, whatever. And maybe that would boost my confidence enough to make guys want me or whatever. Like maybe, but I don't know. And, I'm going to touch on this too. I know it's like a sensitive, touchy subject, but like I got to talk about it. I'm black, right? And most races stick to their own race. So, a lot of times if you're white, you date white, Asian, you date Asian, that type of thing. But whenever I see like commercials, whatever, all I see are black men wanting white women. I'm so serious. That's all I see. I just see it over and over and over. And it's like, it's bad enough where I already just feel undesirable, just me being me as an individual. But then when I think about the fact that like I'm black in addition to that, and my own men don't want me because I'm black, like not even including just other features maybe about me that are undesirable, but just me being black makes me undesirable. It's like, it's a very, it's a very draining thought. And I understand that there are plenty of black women who are wanted by black men, who are wanted by men outside of their race. There are a ton of black women who are desirable. So I'm not saying that black women as a whole are undesirable just because I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I feel undesirable, like, as a whole. And then I feel like even on top of that, because of the color of my skin, because here's the thing, I feel like if there's like a white girl, right, and say she's not desirable or she feels like she isn't because she's fat, at the end of the day, I feel like, okay, but society praises whiteness. So if you just lost weight, then you would be praised, if not just because you're white. I can't change my skin tone. And while being white or just lighter in general doesn't guarantee anything, I do think that it's an advantage. And you just get more credit points, whatever you want to call it, just for that. And it gets minus from having darker skin. It doesn't, again, that doesn't guarantee anything. But it's like, it doesn't help. It just doesn't help. It doesn't feel good feeling undesirable as an individual and then as a race. And I don't know. So I mean, I have to admit, it's just something that I would like to experience. I just like to know what it's like. I just would like to know what it's like to like someone and have them like me back. To feel like, even if not that far, right? Even if it was just to feel like I found someone attractive and they found me attractive back, even if they didn't want to date me, even if they didn't like my personality. I know that sounds really shallow and everything, but that's just how low my confidence, like, if I could just get that, like, that would be enough. I don't necessarily need the relationship part. Like, obviously, it would be great. I'd love it. But it's stepping stones, right? And it doesn't need to be that high. If I could just, get, I mean, I feel like just a general physical attraction is so bare minimum. I feel like it's just the basics, and I can't even get that. Like, I don't know. It just feels bad. And even though there were a lot of things that I didn't understand when it came to men and stuff like that, and I kept trying to ask questions and had everyone basically sabotage me by not telling me, because I still feel like people knew and they just didn't tell me. I don't know why, but they didn't. I feel like they just all wanted me to fail and just didn't want me to know the truth for whatever reason, which is so messed up, but it's still how I feel, right? But even though I didn't understand, I feel like there were certain things that I did just, like, instinctively know or instinctively feel. And even though I wasn't as confident in it as the time, because I didn't fully understand it, I didn't really have people backing me or, like I said, giving me the guidance I needed. At the end of the day, and a part of it too was me feeling like maybe I was gaslighting myself in the sense of, oh, maybe, I know I feel this way, but maybe it's just my lack of confidence talking. Maybe it's just, I would try to excuse it, even though, like, I was right, but I just was trying to, oh, maybe this, maybe that, da, da, da. But no, like, at the end of the day, like, I really genuinely have to be truthful with myself and just say, like, no, like, these men, they never liked you. They never liked you. They don't like you. They're not interested in you. You're not attractive to them. You're not who they want. Not even your own men, like black men, they don't want you. They don't want black women. I'm not going to say all of them. It's not all of them, but still, it's like, you're not what they want. And I have to be truthful with myself. I have to be honest with myself. And, the guys who do seem to want me, if they want anything, they want anyone. They just want a girl. So it's still not special. It's still not them wanting me. And, that's just not an area that I can be confident in. And I feel a lot better about my weight. I still feel like I have more to lose. But at the end of the day, I really don't think that no matter how much weight I lose, no matter what I do with my hair, no matter what I do, I don't think that I'll ever be what men want. I don't think that I'll be desirable. I don't think so. But I think that I really have to be real about that. I do. I have to be real. I have to accept it. Even if I don't like it, I just have to accept it. And, go from there. I have to accept that romance, even though it's such a big thing in the world, it's always in movies, it's always in series, it's always, intimacy of some sort, even if it's not romance, even if it's just something sexual, even though it's such a big thing in the world and life, it's not something that I'm going to experience. It's just going to be yet another one of those things put on the list that a lot of people have experienced that know about, and I'm just not going to know about it. And it's going to make me different. But, it is what it is. Now, no, I don't know the future. I could be wrong, but I don't think that I am. I don't, I don't, right? I don't. Cause I know this could be considered pessimism, but I really think it's really just realism. And a lot of realism tends to be pessimistic, unfortunately. You tend to be able to interchange them because this world isn't the best, nicest, most beautiful place. If you can find beauty in it, that's great. But I mean, I'm just being realistic here. I've never been their cup of tea. I don't think I'm going to be their cup of tea. I don't think I'm her. I don't think I'm that girl. And that's what life has proved to me. So I really don't care what people have to say, right? I don't care about people telling me that I'm attractive. It hasn't happened in a while anyway. It would be nice if someone did, but no one has. But even if they did, most likely I wouldn't believe them. I mean, it depends on the circumstance. But most likely I wouldn't believe them anyway. But yeah, it's just one of those areas that I gotta accept that I'm just not gonna have confidence in. Cause like yesterday I actually left my house for once in my life. And while I was out, there was this guy. And he was instructing me on something. I'm not going to disclose what it was. But I'm just going to say that he was instructing me. And I thought, I found him very attractive. Not just, I thought he was cute, right? I did. I found him very attractive. He had nice arms. I liked his hair. I thought he had a nice face. I thought he was cute. But also the way that he instructed me, I just felt like it was very professional. He did a really good job. He was really informative, really patient. And I found that very attractive. So it wasn't just physical, just how he presented himself. He felt very attractive to me. But, I thought to myself, well, I find him attractive, but I'm sure that he doesn't find me attractive because guys don't find me attractive. They don't. And it didn't help. I mean, he wasn't even black, right? Which, even though I do think that a lot of guys want white girls, black guys, I still feel like they're probably gonna more so be the ones to find me attractive on average, because again, I do think that there are ones that do still want black girls, so there's still a better chance of a black guy finding me attractive. So he wasn't even black, so I even more so felt like, okay, this is not reciprocated, and it sucked, right? It sucked to feel that way. But, I just had to accept it. But it was okay, though, in a sense, because it was at least I felt like, all right, well, I'm not being delusional about this. I'm not thinking oh, he's probably looking at me and thinking, oh, no. I just, yeah, I didn't think anything crazy. It was okay, he's cute. I don't think he feels the same way. But I mean, I do think he's cute, so there's that. And I mean, that was it. That was that was the end of it. So I don't know. It's unfortunate. It doesn't feel good. I wish it was different. I wish that I was the type of person, because another thing I watch, one thing I'll watch is Kendra G, right? I'll watch Kendra G singles, and I'll watch some women go on there and everyone's like, oh my gosh, so pretty, beautiful, gorgeous, oh, she's stunning, da 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 da, and people put that in the comments, and sometimes I'll even say it too. I'll be like, beautiful, because I don't know, I just want the woman to feel beautiful, to feel attractive, and I don't know, I wish someone would do it for me. But I'll do that, and I wish that if I were to do something like that, like if I were to go on her show, that people would be in the comments and be like, oh, beautiful. But I have a feeling I know what they'd say instead. And I'm not going to put that out there. But I'm just saying, I feel like I know what they'd say instead. And I'd feel really bad about myself. So, you know, but it would be nice to just feel validated for once. But I mean, I guess it is what it is. But I don't know. When, like I said, I was watching the video when he talked about feeling desirable, when he talked about feeling like a guy is picking you, it just made me, I mean, I already wanted to talk about this. I already wanted to do a live because I hadn't done one in a while. And it just spurred me on even more to want to do it. So that is what I did. So, yeah. But anyway, I guess I will wrap this up now. I feel like I've vented at least enough for right now. Doesn't mean that I won't come back. Doesn't mean that I really got it all out of my system. But I did want to talk about it a little bit. So, that is that.